In each case, we're targeting the most realistic gaming experience possible.
And that's what it's about, isn't it? That realistic experience, that visceral sound that goes on as well. Dalek, what else is the community wanting to know?
Well, Borg, we have a tweet in from It's Enigma for the Win, who wants to know what locations are we going to be fighting in?
Well, the game takes place entirely in the European theater, primarily between 1944 and 1945. And as you saw in the reveal trailer, players will storm the beaches of Normandy on D-Day, fight through the Hurtgen Forest, engage in urban combat through France and Belgium, and ultimately push towards Germany.
Yeah, that's right. And we want to showcase how ordinary men and women came together to accomplish the extraordinary. And while the story follows the 1st Infantry Division, we also fold in a story of diverse and global cast of characters like Major Crowley from
So guys,
SOE.
I was saying,
Now
I
he's
muted my mic, it's
UK
not me
intel,
talking and
officer
breathing,
who
it's
earns
him
recognition for
breathing
his
down his mic.
heroism earlier in the war.
It's not set up properly.
He helps
and let you
plan
guys enjoy
armored
the stream.
landings and then coordinates with the French resistance activities.
Yeah, and while fighting through the German lines in France, players will be introduced to other great characters such as Rousseau, the powerful female leader of the French resistance, who forms a close bond with all our cast members, cast of characters, as the story progresses. Throughout much of the campaign, though, you're going to play as Private Red Daniels, a young recruit who is seeing some of his first real action in the invasion of Normandy. He's joined by his best friend, Zussman, a Jewish-American private. You'll follow our squad across the European theater, and we're excited to say that a part of the cast is here today to talk more about the incredible journey.
They are indeed. We'll bring them up on stage in a second. Glenn, Michael, don't go anywhere because we will be talking to you later on with some more questions from the community. Keep them coming in. But please do give a warm welcome to Jonathan Tuck, who plays Red's best friend, Private Zussman. If we swap everyone out, let's swap everyone out here as we do this bit. And Jeffrey Pierce, who plays Lieutenant Turner. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much. And it's great to have the cast in as well, because one of the great things about Call of Duty has been that. It's been the great storytelling that goes on. And we've got the 3 Js here right now. Josh, I know you've had a huge amount of passion from this game since day one, being part of this project. What most excited you?
Well, when I first heard about it, I sat with Brett and with Glenn, and they wouldn't even tell me what the game was at first because it was so confidential. And then, you know, they just told, you know, it was really about what the history of this was about and how much detail they wanted to pay to it. And as I really got to, you know, learn more about it and actually start working on the game, not only did they pay attention historically, but the writing was so incredibly good. I mean, it rivals anything that I've ever read, you know, as far as movie scripts. So, you know, it's just something that I've always wanted to do, and it turned out to be as much fun as any job I've ever had.
And as Eric said earlier on, the story of World War II touches a lot of people emotionally, and that was something you brought into your performance, I would guess. Yeah,
I mean, again, who knew? I thought it was just going to be a good time playing, you know, getting to work on a video game, and it turns out that these, you know, some of the scene work we got to do in this game was amazing, and these characters are so well rounded, and you know, they were right. They really did pay a lot of attention to, you know, being historically accurate and making sure these characters were had a lot of depth.
And if we're talking about characters, tell me about your character, the guy you play.
Well, I don't know, boys. What was he? He's a bit of a dick. He's somebody who is obviously mission before man, and you know, it was something that was fun for me because I love playing the dick. I love playing the guy who everybody hates, and ultimately he has the dilemma about, you know, is it mission before man, or is it really man before mission? Because he connects to these guys by the end of this story, and that's really what drew me to it.
Well, if we're talking about that connection, what was it like then, Jeffrey, when you're working together, that brotherhood feeling, when you're capturing your performances?
Well, we've been working together for 1.5 years at this point. Once a month, coming in, work 4 or 5 days. And I think we all bonded
Microsoft spyware alert. Pornographic spyware. Risk where detected. Error number 0 by 80072EE7. Your computer has alerted us that it is infected with a pornographic spyware or riskware. This spyware is sending your financial details, credit card details, Facebook logins and personal details to an unknown IP address remotely. Please call us immediately on the toll-free number listed, so that our support engineers can walk you through the removal process. Please call us immediately on the toll-free number listed, so that our support engineers can walk you through the removal process over the phone. If you close this page before calling us,
You make that work.
It's an extraordinarily active, dynamic process where everybody is working the entire time. It's an exciting process to be a part of as an actor. The performances are so much more visceral, and so much more of an exciting process to be a part of.
And you're relying on everybody else to help you get where you need to get. It's a great experience.
Well, because that's something you said to me earlier. I mean, I don't want to give anything away, but we met in the gym this morning. We bumped into each other. We were doing our mirror work, tons and tons. And you said it was like being on stage, and it lent a whole new dimension to your performances. Because I think when you're doing TV or film, you can be off, can't you?
Oh yeah, I mean, Josh and I, this is our first video game. Jeff's done quite a few. We're used to just sitting back on our Apple boxes in between takes, letting other people get their shots, but for the first time, we really had to work. The entire scene.
I mean, up to this point, it was just, we just do our close-up and then let somebody else do the other side.
Exactly right.
Head off to the trailer.
Yeah, off to my trailer. Call me.
No, but I mean,
That's not it. That's swear to God. That's not it.
18 months with these guys, I've gotten to see both their kids grow up. They've gotten to see my dog get bigger. We've seen other cast members, lose girlfriends, get girlfriends. So that camaraderie was very reflective of this group of regular people who are diverse in religion, in age, in geography, in color, and getting to see that group of people in World War II is, I think, a wholly unique part of this game that I think people will appreciate when they're playing.
When you scratch the surface, you find out that these guys, they're not fighting for bigger ideas than the love of the brothers around them and risking their lives, sacrificing themselves for each other. It's not about flag or country when the rubber meets the road. It's about caring for each other, and that serves the bigger whole. But the connection between the men and the women on the front lines is as powerful a bond as you could see anywhere.
Yeah, and one thing that I think is also really cool about this is that not only is it a kick-ass game, but because they spent so much time making this historically accurate, it's going to expose the whole World War II story to a whole new generation. And that's really, I'm really honored to be a part of this game for that reason. And the fact that I get just sit to be in a video game, but the fact that it's, it is a visceral sort of thing. And I think that, anybody who isn't familiar with World War II is going to get a real feel for what it might have been like.
Because lots of people are writing articles about that at the moment, saying that this is how we get our history now. It's through this, and there's almost more empathy when you're fighting through an interactive character.
Well, there's 20 years since Saving Private Ryan. It's 10 years since Call of Duty had a World War II game. This is a whole new generation, and to speak to the pride that we've all felt making this game, it has been a true privilege to even watching this behind the scenes, to be able to share with the world the small role that we've gotten to play in bringing this game to fans and a whole new generation to understand World War II.
Yeah.
Josh, you mentioned connections. Am I right in thinking that somebody who sat around on this stage right now got a punch in on you at some point during the film?
Well, he did. Like we were saying, it's usually one take. You get the one take right and you move on to the next scene. Well, he kept screwing it up and taking another. Can I get one more?
We had to get it right.
I just need one more.
Very important to get it right.
Starting to wonder
authenticity. We're back to visceral authenticity, and you can't, hit somebody who's 6'4" every day without repercussions. So I took my licks where I could.
I appreciate your dedication to the craft.
Yeah. I just don't like that take. Let's do it one more time. Come on, Iron Bar. We're actually watching on the screen right now. We're watching your characters. What is it like watching yourself back? Having gone there, we saw the punch. And what is it like watching yourself back in a game at this point? Because obviously you've done TV, you've done films, but watching yourself in the game.
Well, it takes a while to adjust to this tight, suit that you're wearing. It's all colorful with these balls and the whole thing.
Who looked the best? Who looked the best in the suit?
Jonathan, for sure. He's been doing a lot of squats.
Heavy deadlifting. Heavy deadlifting makes the suit look nice.
Once you get past that, and once you start to see some of the results and some of the stuff that the guys are working on in Foster City and all over the world, I think. I'm not sure where everybody's at, but again, thank you guys for all the work. but once you start to see what you're actually going to look like, it frees you up to really go for it, because you're not just in some silly suit. This is World War II, and this is some serious stuff.
Yeah.
And so it gives you a whole new freedom that you wouldn't
I mean,
otherwise
you get
have.
to see, you can imagine your breath when when we're doing some of these winter scenes. You can squint at a fake sun and the volume, and those guys who have created this game build that in for you. So that freedom he's talking about, it's so exciting to explore.
And I think it sets it up for what Call of Duty is, which is great storytelling. But please put our hands together for our cast who've come down here today. The 3Js. Thank you so much. And all we're talking about there is the campaign. That's just all we're talking about there. Now, Dolek, I would guess you're still excited right now.
I mean, I think I'm just in a state of excitement. I can't really get out of it. That was awesome and very insightful to hear from the cast. Now, don't worry, we still have a lot of reactions and general tweets from the community to deliver to Glenn and Michael. We've got just a handful right here. We have Rob Stang, who says, I hope Michael Condrey and Glenn Schofield give us at least a little tease of multiplayer during the reveal. Smiley face. And at Woodworth Noah, who, and this is in all caps, by the way, this is going to be amazing. Loads of exclamation marks. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, as I look through all the tweets, there is an enormous amount of questions revolving around multiplayer. Guys, what can you tell us about multiplayer today?
So there you go, the community has spoken. That's what lots of people are excited about. Michael, what can you tell us about multiplayer?
Oh, my goodness. We have so much to share. Now, we can't show you a lot today, a lot of big stuff coming at E3, but first and foremost, we're talking boots on the ground combat. And, that well-balanced Call of Duty run-and-gun action in a brutal and visceral head-to-head conflict of World War II. So from maps to movement to weapons to melee, our goal was to give players an all-new boots-on-the-ground experience for World War II. And then a bunch of new stuff, right? We've got War, an asymmetrical Allied versus Axis mode where factions fight to capture or defend critical objectives. Now, this mode changes map design, strategy, teamwork, and we're really excited about its potential. We're also excited about Divisions. Divisions is a fundamentally new way to approach your Call of Duty multiplayer career, and it adds to the player immersion by allowing players to enlist in a specific unit of their choice. And finally, we have Headquarters. This is something special, everybody, at Sledgehammer Games, and it's the first of a kind for the Call of Duty community. It's really a living space where fans can connect, be rewarded, compete, show off, and have fun outside of matches. It's a transformation of how the community comes together, and we really want you to see it to understand it. So just a tiny peek here. Let's take a look.
That was a tiny peek.
Was
I want more.
Wow, that was a little tinier than I expected, OJ.
So when we see more? When we can see more of this?
Well, it's coming to E3, MP on the floor. For us, that's the first time Sledgehammer Games has been able to bring it to fans. Mm-hmm. Fans are coming to the conference. So it's going to be big. We're going to bring all that to you at E3.
That is going to be excellent.
Hey guys, hey guys, hey guys. I'm sorry to interrupt. I mean, multiplayer sounds sensational, but after reading other people's questions, I want to ask one of my own. Now, I know that there may or may not be some sort of co-op mode within World War II. Now, I am quite a big Zombies fan, and there is a lot of people watching around the world that are also in the same boat as me. So we're all asking right here, right now, what can you tell us about this co-op mode?
Absolutely nothing. No. Sorry. Our third mode is it's an entirely new story, and it's a pretty horrifying experience, sort of like your office. For Michael and I, it's our first horror game in years, and we're really, really psyched about it. It's the story of the Third Reich's desperate attempt to create an army in the final stages of the war. We can't wait to share more. In fact, should we show a little something? Just a little tiny little peek.
Yeah. Whoa! Whoa! It's Dalek before makeup.
Yes.
Oh, thank you very much. Guys, I mean, this says very little, and normally I would be a little disappointed, but how can I be when, I mean, that just looks incredible. I would ask for more, but I'm probably going to get a no, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
At least I tried. At least I tried.
That is a Nazi zombie on the biggest cinema screen in
Yes.
the United Kingdom. And I
Yes.
think that is a fabulous way to end this first look at the Call of Duty World War II than that. It has been an absolute ton of fun, and it's been great having you guys here as well.
Yeah, thanks so much. It's been a pleasure. You know, our hearts are full being able to share with fans. And we hope fans are just as excited about Call of Duty World War II as we are to make it. Without a doubt, it really is the most personal and powerful game I've ever worked on. And I know we can speak for all the developers at Sledgehammer Games when I say that we're holding nothing back for November.
Yeah, and our thanks again for the support. This game is for you, and I'm sure Michael would agree. We've talked about this before, that this is the best game we've ever made.
The best game.
The best
game.
Yes.
There you go. So thank you
Yes,
very
yes,
much
yes, yes.
to Glenn and to Michael from
sir.
Sledgehammer Games. It is going to be such a wait till November the 3rd, it really is. So stick it in your iCal, tattoo it to the inside of your eyelids. November the 3rd, that is when this new Call of Duty, going back to its root, is coming out. World War II with this game. Thank you so much for joining us. Keep in touch via the social channels. How should we leave it? The way we came in. Let's have another look at that trailer.
This day is set upon a mighty endeavor. Souls will be shaken with the violences of war. In this hour of great sacrifice, we shall prevail.
Get your head down and keep moving!
We are all that separates the world from darkness. The enemy is ruthless. We cannot, we must not fail.
Duty first.
Perez! Won't be enough for you! How many casualties? We executed the mission.
Get me the fuck out of here.
How many?
We had orders!
Get to cover!
Lieutenant, tell them what we're all about.
No mission too difficult. No sacrifice too great.
Welcome to the bloody first. You're a long way from Texas, farm boy.
Pre-order now and get access to the private beta.
Alright guys, look at that. That was crazy. What I'm going to pull up on screen here actually for a second is something that you guys are really going to want to see and take another look at, and that is the very first zombies picture